Welcome back for part 2. What did you try behaviorally that you liked from part 1? Hello, J.H. Cooper here. Welcome to part 2 of Impactful Virtual Presentations. In part 2, we will cover, Oh, how I hate presenting agendas. You can read, save some time and do not present agendas or table of contents. Show it, pause for questions, and move on. Get to the meat of your presentation.
Before you start, make sure that everything is ready to go before your face hits the screen. Presentations are career makers. You have the opportunity to stand out as a leader. Here's a quick summary and a look forward to what we will cover in part 2.
It is a virtual presentation, which means that you need to crank up the facial expressions, gestures, and engagement. That creates trust instead of being robotic. Show your hands and palms.
Reach your hands into the screen and connect with your audience. Talk and lead your viewers, do not present. It is a conversation about a topic that you are the expert in. Use your hands to emphasize the key. What is in it for them points. Make it verbal. For example, this will be important for you. Or, listen to this next point carefully. And remember, review your checklist and decide what will be your target. This is the what is in it for them. Connect your proposals to these important values.
To help guide you, we will use my creation, the 5S model for delivery. Short, sweet, sexy, simple, and speed. Get to the point. Target the what is in it for them, make it motivational, easy to understand and implement, and can be implemented quickly, with tangible, impactful, quick wins. This guides all of your content and delivery style.
Your environment and preparation is an additional tool. Make sure that before you get started, you have everything ready to go. Investing in preparing technically like a camera is an easy way to increase the impact of your presentations. Technical preparation will only help. But if not done properly, it will hurt you. Tell the listener where you will take them. For example, at the end of my presentation, I will ask you to do. Or during this preparation, your role as a listener will be to. We all have different strengths. If you are presenting as a team, designate roles and timing. Who will introduce? Who will bring the energy? Who will close? Who will ask the tough questions? Quick reminder, make everything 5S, including strategy, content, and delivery. Your voice carries authority, confidence, and emotion long before your content does. Strong vocal delivery with variation in tone, pace, and emphasis keeps attention high and makes your message memorable. Talk, do not present. Inflection and vocal variety prevent your message from sounding flat and predictable, keeping your audience mentally engaged. By varying tone, pace, and emphasis, you highlight key points and add energy that makes your message more persuasive and memorable. When your voice and gestures work together, your message feels natural, confident, and authentic. Matching vocal emphasis with purposeful movement reinforces key points and increases clarity, credibility, and impact. Be nice to your audience. One idea per slide, and highlight that point and tell them to remember that and why.
Use large, clean, and easy-to-read fonts because if they struggle to read it, they stop listening to you. Use highlighters when necessary.
Zoom in on the details that directly impact your audience's what's in it for them, so they clearly see the personal relevance. Then zoom out to the bigger picture, showing how those details connect to broader goals, outcomes, and strategic value.
Use the persuasion model when you need to move people from awareness to decision, especially in pitches, change initiatives, or high-stakes recommendations. Structure it clearly. Connect their value to an action, then link the absence of action to a consequence. For example, if speed to market matters to you, then adopting this AI workflow is critical. If you delay, your competitors will learn faster and win faster.
Present less data and more meaning. Your audience doesn't need every number. They need the insight behind it. Highlight the value of the data by clearly explaining what it means, why it matters, and what action it supports. Connect the data to the what is in it for them. Keep charts and graphs simple, clean, and focused on one key message. Remove unnecessary labels, colors, and clutter. Always tell the audience what they're looking at and why it matters, so the visual supports your insight instead of distracting from it. Framing is critical with charts and graphs because without context, data is just noise. Your explanation directs the meaning and the takeaway. When you show instead of just tell, the visual proof strengthens credibility and helps your audience see the insight for themselves.
Make your slides user-friendly. Do not torture your audience.
Micro-engagements like quick questions, polls, or chat prompts reactivate attention and turn passive viewers into active participants. It works.
Share your successes in the context of the value created for others, not as personal trophies, but as proof of impact. In presentations, frame achievements as case evidence. Here's what we did, here's the result, and here's what it means for you.
Telling your audience where they are in the presentation creates psychological clarity and momentum, helping them stay oriented, engaged, and confident in your structure.
Start with a banger by clearly stating who you are, what the topic is, why it matters, and what the target outcome is. This instantly frames the value and direction of the presentation. When you define the who, what, why, and action up front, you create clarity, credibility, and immediate engagement.
Use Ethos to build credibility, logos to prove your case, and Pathos to make it personally meaningful. But remember, people justify with logic and credentials, yet they decide emotionally, so Pathos is what ultimately moves action. That Pathos is connected to the what is in it for them.
End on a high, positive note to leave your audience energized, confident, and motivated to act. Reinforce the 3 key takeaways clearly so they remember what matters most and know exactly what to do next.
Change the pace every 5 to 10 minutes by shifting from talking to a question, story, example, or visual to reset attention and keep your audience mentally engaged. Now it is time to enjoy this visual. Pause and reflect. What is the first tip or skill you could use in your next presentation? How about a second behavior or tip you will use? Great. How about one more tip, skill, or behavior you will use to take advantage of every presentation? And view them as career opportunities. Have notes and main points you need to emphasize. Prepare and practice. That reflects that you care.
Always check your own energy level every 3 or 4 minutes. Use your energy to keep your listeners engaged and focused.
Keep this ready. Time it correctly. When it is a critical moment, pause and tell your audience that this is the most important point to remember.
Calling on your audience keeps them mentally present and shifts them from passive listeners to active participants. Engagement increases attention, accountability, and retention, and makes your presentation feel like a conversation, not a broadcast.
It is better to be a facilitator than a presenter. You are the subject matter expert of your presentation.
Only ask questions that you know the answer to, or questions that redirect your audience to the mutual benefits or key points of your proposals. This is the resources section of the presentation. What follows are some tips that you can screenshot and keep with you when you deliver. Which 3 could you try? Take a screenshot and keep this list handy.
Need a pause or re-engage with your audience? Emphasize a what is in it for them discussion, or have the audience pause and reflect your main points. Have these questions ready to go.
Here are some general tips and insights that will help bring gravitas and executive presence to your next virtual presentation.
It is important to look at the camera PRE presentation and critical for introductions, main points, conclusions, and discussions. Here are some key phrases to mix in with any presentation to enhance your command of the screen and ensure engagement. Which could you try? Have them next to you when you present. Here are some tips to help you every step of the way. Some tips for engagement before, during, and after your presentation. Which 3 tips did you like that you will try that will enhance your virtual presentations?
Impactful virtual presentations are not about more slides. They're about sharper thinking, stronger framing, and clearer value. When you align your message to what truly matters to your audience, attention and influence follow naturally. Master the structure, simplify the message, and deliver with intent. And your virtual presence becomes leadership. Be sure to try some new behaviors that will bring mutually added value. Thanks and good luck.